All right, we are live. I hope people can hear me. I'm your host, Levi Khan of Bear Sheath Farm. I'm going to check here, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me a second here. Okay, we're going to find out real quick. Okay, yep, I can be heard. All right. All right. I was going to do it a little earlier, and we could see that the sound wouldn't work. And so Jeb took care of it again before the problem came. Anyway, today we'll be reading Joshua chapters 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And after that, I'm going to play a full video of a little over 7.5 minutes, I think it is, about flock cameras. So, yeah, I'm not doing anything wrong that I know of. I realize I'm kind of computer or techno challenged, folks, but I'm not that bad. Yeah, when she was working with it, it wouldn't even show the device, and then say you can't find it, when she type it in. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's the enemy at work. That being said, we'll just keep trudging on. But rather than talk about that, let's go ahead and get the reading going here, folks, and we'll talk a little bit and get that video going and whatever. All right, Joshua chapter 7. But the children of Israel committed a trespassing, the accursed thing. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. I don't want to say Ai. Anyway, verse 3, And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, and they chased them from before the gate even unto Shebarim, and smote them in the going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the eventide, he and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelt on the other side Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us round, and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel hath sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them, for they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen, and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, for thus saith the Lord God of Israel, There is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst not stand before thine enemies until you take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, you shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the families thereof, and the family which the Lord shall take shall come by households. And the household which the Lord shall take shall come man by man, and it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, he and all that he hath, because he hath transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he hath wrought folly in Israel. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the families of the Zarhites, and he brought the family of the Zarhites man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, My son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor unto this day. And that's all 26 verses of Joshua chapter 7. Okay, welcome and shalom to Tex Haas, Craig Hayden. Glad you're here. Both of you. Wilfred Witzke. All right. Welcome to all of you. Welcome back. Talking about Achan. Look, 36 people needlessly died. Well, maybe it was a needful thing, but on the surface, it was really unnecessary. It didn't need to happen. Achan knew what he was doing. His family knew he had it under the tent. And people will say, why was the Lord so harsh? Why was Elohim so rough that way? Well, how could he not be? When a whole family covets, in the sense, even if they didn't do the literal coveting like Achan did, they were accessories to it. They aided and abetted. It's in the Torah. We've read it fairly recently. If it's a family member, you need to turn it in. Okay. And it's pretty clear. And welcome and shalom to Old Path. So, you have to stomp out sin. No, it just, you have to deal with it, folks. One day at a time for how many years, decades, generations, and centuries. It gets so bad that you don't even know the old godly ways anymore, practically. And we have them all right here. We have what we need. So, all right, let's go to chapter 8, shall we? And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. And thou shalt do to Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall you take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee in ambush for the city behind it. So Joshua arose and all the people of war to go up against Ai. And Joshua chose out 30,000 mighty men of valor and sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, Behold, ye shall lie in wait against the city, even behind the city. Go not very far from the city, but be ye all ready. And I and all the people that are with me will approach unto the city, and it shall come to pass, when they come out against us, as at the first, that we will flee before them. For they will come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city, for they will say, They flee before us, as at the first. Therefore we will flee before them. Then ye shall rise up from the ambush and seize upon the city, for the Lord your God will deliver it into your hand. And it shall be, when ye have taken the city, that ye shall set the city on fire, according to the commandment of the Lord shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush, and abode between Bethel and Ai on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning and numbered the people, and went up he and the elders of Israel before the people to Ai. And all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh and came before the city and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai. And he took about 5,000 men and set them to lie in ambush between Ethel and Ai on the west side of the city. And when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, and their liers in wait on the west of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, that he hasted and rose up early, and the men of the city went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people, at a time appointed before the plain. But he wist not that there were liers in ambush against him behind the city. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them, and they pursued after Joshua, and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went not out after Israel, and they left the city open and pursued after Israel. That was pretty stupid. And the Lord said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thine hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place, and they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand. And they entered into the city and took it, and hasted and set the city on fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven, and they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. And the other issued out of the city against them. So they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. And the king of Ai they took alive and brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made an end of slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness wherein they chased them, and when they were all fallen on the edge of the sword, until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned unto Ai, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And so it was that all that fell that day, both of men and women, were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. For Joshua drew not his hand back, wherewith he stretched out the spear, until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. Only the cattle and the spoil of that city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according unto the word of the Lord, which he commanded Joshua. And Joshua burnt Ai, and made it an heap forever, even a desolation unto this day. And the king of Ai he hanged on a tree until eventide. And as soon as the sun was down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree, and cast it at the entering of the gate of the city, and raise thereon a great heap of stones that remaineth unto this day. Then Joshua built an altar unto the Lord God of Israel in Mount Ebal. Okay, before we continue on to verse 31, I don't know if they found these great heaps of stones. I think they're pretty sure they found the pillar of salt. That was Lot's wife. Some of these places and stuff like that they found. I mean, they pretty much found all the places, but some of the incidents here that's being claimed in the scriptures they found, not all of them. So, anyway, it just goes to prove the word is valid. It's inspired. All right. Before I go on to verse 31, welcome and shalom to Nicole CB. Glad you're here. Verse 31. As Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of whole stones, over which no man hath lifted up any iron, and they offered thereon burnt offerings unto the Lord, and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. Anyway, more like a scroll, a Megillah. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side, the ark, and on that side before the priests, the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, as well as the stranger, as he that was born among them, half of them over against Mount Gerizim, and half of them over against Mount Ebal, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and cursings according to all that is written in the book of the law. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the strangers that were conversant among them. It's all 35 verses of Joshua chapter 8, and I love it when they keep putting in the stranger, people that were not originally any part of the 12 tribes. Okay. Yeah, I hope you get to feeling better there, Old Path. All right. Let's keep this going, folks. Joshua chapter 9. And it came to pass when all the kings which were on this side Jordan, in the hills, and in the valleys, and in all the coasts of the great sea, over against Lebanon, the Hittite and the Amorite, the Canaanite and the Perizzite, the Hivite and the Jebusite, heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, they did work wily, and went and made as if they had been ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles old and rent and bound up, and old shores and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them. And all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy. And they went to Joshua unto the camp of Gilgal, and said unto him and to the men of Israel, We be come from a far country. Now therefore make ye a league with us. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, Peradventure ye dwell among us, and how shall we make a league with you? And they said unto Joshua, We are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, Who are ye, and from whence come ye? And they said unto him, From a very far country thy servants are come, because of the name of the Lord thy God, for we have heard the fame of him, and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites that were beyond Jordan, to Sihon king of Heshbon, and to Og king of Bashan, which was at Ashtaroth. Wherefore our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spake to us, saying, Take victuals with you for the journey, and go to meet them, and say unto them, We are your servants, therefore now make ye a league with us. This our bread we took hot for our provision out of our houses on the day we came forth to go unto you, and now behold, it is dry and it is moldy. And these bottles of wine which we filled were new, and behold, they be rent, and these our garments and our shoes are become old by reason of the very long journey. And the men took of their victuals, and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. See, the Israelites screwed up there. They just naively decided to believe them. Verse 15. And Joshua made peace with them, made a league with them to let them live, and the princes of the congregation sware unto them. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days after they had made a league with them, that they heard that they were their neighbors, and that they dwelt among them. And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities on the third day. Now their cities were Gibeon, and Shephirah, and Beeroth, and Kirjath Jearim. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, we have sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. Thus we, this we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us because of the oath which we swear unto them. And the princes said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation, as the princes had promised them. And Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, we are very far from you, when ye dwell among us? Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. And they answered Joshua and said, because it was certainly told thy servants how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore we were sore afraid of our lives because of you, and have done this thing. And now behold, we are in thine hand, as it seemeth good and right unto thee to do unto us, do. And so did he unto them, and delivered them out of the hand of the children of Israel, that they slew them not. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of the Lord, even unto this day, in the place which he should choose. That's all 27 verses of Joshua chapter 9. Pretty humid here, folks. Anyway, just saying. But that's more like a spiritual thing, because obviously those lines are not chopping wood and hewing stone and drawing water for Israelites today. It's not going on verbally to my, in verb action to my knowledge. But anyway, let's keep this going here. Joshua chapter 10. Now it came to pass, when Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and her king, so he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them. I love chapter 10 of verse 1 and more because of the king of Jerusalem, a totally different people, obviously, and they were replaced. So, anyway, verse 2. And they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men thereof were mighty. Where Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, and unto Piram, king of Jarmuth, and unto Japhiah, king of Lachish, and unto Debir, king of Eglon, saying, hold on a second. Verse 4, come up unto me, and help me, that we may smite Gibeon, for it hath made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Therefore the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, gathered themselves together, and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped before Gibeon, and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp to Gilgal, saying, slack not thy hand from thy servants. Come up to us quickly, and save us, and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all his people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilgal all night. And the Lord discomfited them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way, Azekah and unto. And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died. They were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. literal help from Elohim. Verse 12, then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel, and he said in the sight of Israel, sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou, moon, in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. I don't think it's the same 91 chapters of Jasher that I've read. That's just my guess. Anyway, verse 14. And there was no day like that before or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp to Gilgal. But these 5 kings fled, and hid themselves in a cave at Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings are found hid in a cave at Makkedah. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mouth of the cave, and set men by it for to keep them. And stay ye not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindmost of them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for the Lord your God hath delivered them into your hand. And it came to pass, when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed, that the rest which remained of them entered into fenced cities. And all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave, and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the captains of the men of war which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near, and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed, be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom you fight. And afterward Joshua smote them, and slew them, and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun, that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the trees, and cast them into the cave wherein they had been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, which remain until this very day. And that day Joshua took Makkedah, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof he utterly destroyed them, and all the souls that were therein he let none remain. And he did to the king of Makkedah as he did unto the king of Jericho. Then Joshua passed from Makkedah, and all Israel with him, unto Libnah, and fought against Libnah. And the Lord delivered it also, and the king thereof, into the hand of Israel. And he smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein he let none remain in it, but did unto the king thereof as he did unto the king of Jericho. And Joshua passed from Libnah, and all Israel with him, unto Lachish, and encamped against it, and fought against it. And the Lord delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel, which took it on the 2nd day, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein, according to all he had done to Libnah. Then Horam king of Gezer came up to help Lachish, and Joshua smote him and his people until he had left him none remaining. And from Lachish Joshua passed unto Eglon, and all Israel with him, and they encamped against it, and fought against it. And they took it on that day, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein he utterly destroyed that day, according to all that he had done to Lachish. And Joshua went up from Eglon, and all Israel with him, unto Hebron, and they fought against it. And they took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and all the souls that were therein. He left none remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, but destroyed it utterly, and all the souls that were therein. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to Debir, and fought against it. And he took it, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed all the souls that were therein, he left none remaining, as he had done to Hebron. So he did to Debir and to the king thereof, as he had done also to Libnah and to her king. So Joshua smote all the country of the hills, and of the south, and of the vale, and of the springs, and all their kings. He left none remaining, but utterly destroyed all that breathed, as the Lord God of Israel commanded. And Joshua smote them from Kadesh Barnea even unto Gaza, and all the country of Goshen even unto Gibeon. And all these kings in their land did Joshua take at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp to Gilgal. And that's all 43 verses of Joshua chapter 10. One thing you see about the book or scroll or whatever of Joshua is it's probably about one of the bloodiest readings. I mean, we serve a God of blood, okay? And I don't mean that in a bad way. Wars still happen in that, and if you have to defend yourself or stop evil in that. So, blood is required, blood for blood to this moment. And when Yeshua comes down on that white horse with an unknown name that we don't know right now, it's going to be a pretty bloody time. So, anyway, all right, let's go to chapter 11 of Joshua. And it came to pass, when Jabin, king of Hazor, had heard those things, that he sent to Jobab, king of Medan, and to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Akshaph, and to the kings that were on the north of the mountains, and of the plains south of Chinneroth, and in the valley, and in the borders of Dor on the west, and to the Canaanite on the east and on the west, and to the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the mountains, and to the Hivite under Hermon in the land of Mizpah. And they went out, they and all their hosts with them, much people, even as the sand that is upon the seashore, and multitude with horses and chariots, very many. And when all these kings were met together, they came and pitched together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Be not afraid because of them, for tomorrow about this time I will deliver them up all slain before Israel. Thou shalt hold their horses and burn their chariots with fire. So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and they fell upon them. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, who smote them, and chased them unto great Zidon, and unto Mishrapoth-maim, and unto the valley of Mizpah eastward, and they smote them until they left them none remaining. And Joshua did unto them as the Lord bade him. He hold their horses and burnt their chariots with fire. And Joshua at that time turned back and took Hazor, and smote the king thereof with the sword. For Hazor before time was the head of all those kingdoms. And they smote all the souls that were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was not any left to breathe, and he burnt Hazor with fire. And all the cities of those kings, and all the kings of them did Joshua take, and smote them with the edge of the sword, and he utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded. But as for the cities that stood still in their strength, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only. That did Joshua burn. And all the spoil of these cities and the cattle, the children of Israel took a prey unto themselves, but every man they smote with the edge of the sword, until they had destroyed them, neither left they any to breathe. As the Lord commanded Moses, his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so did Joshua. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. So Joshua took all that land, the hills, and all the south country, and all the land of Goshen, and the valley, and the plain, and the mountain of Israel, and the valley of the same, even from the mount of Halak that goeth up to Seir, even unto Baal Gad, in the valley of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon, and all their kings he took and smote them and slew them. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. All other they took in battle. For it was of the Lord to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might destroy them utterly, and they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them as the Lord commanded Moses. Yeah, see, the Lord, these people were already evil. Okay, they were already evil, and you couldn't reason with them. And the Lord, even like with Pharaoh's heart, he hardened these people's hearts too. And his name was glorified through it by the Israelites. Verse 21. And at that time came Joshua and cut off the Anakims from the mountains, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the mountains of Judah, and from all the mountains of Israel. Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities. There was none of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod there remained. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord had said, unto all that the Lord said unto Moses, and Joshua gave it for an inheritance unto Israel according to their divisions by their tribes, and the land rested from war. And that's all 23 verses of chapter 12. Give me a minute. Eventually, as bloody as this time was, and the blood was required, you have to take a vacation for a little bit every now and then, don't you? Anyway, because that can get very good people a little bit loopy after a while, and that. So my dogs are all looking at me. That's no good. I'll tell you what, the dogs can hold off until I get that video going. I've already seen it. Anyway, let's do chapter 12, shall we? Let me look at the time. I'll feel better. All right. Everything looking good? Alrighty then, let's do chapter 12. Now these are the kings of the land, which the children of Israel smote and possessed their land on the other side Jordan, toward the rising of the sun, from the river Arnon unto Mount Hermon, and all the plain on the east. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from Aroer, which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from half Gilead, even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon, and from the plain to the sea of Chinneroth on the east, and unto the sea of the plain, even the salt sea on the east, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and from the south under Ashgoth Pisgah, and the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants that dwelt at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and reigned in Mount Hermon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan, unto the border of the Geshurites, and the Maacathites, and half Gilead, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Them did Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the children of Israel smite. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it for possession unto the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh. And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this side Jordan on the west, from Baal Gad, or Gad, you could say, Baal Gad, in the valley of Lebanon, even unto the Mount Halach, that goeth up to Seir, which Joshua gave unto the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions. In the mountains, and in the valleys, and in the plains, and in the springs, and in the wilderness, and in the south country, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. The king of Eglon, 1. The king of Gezer, 1. The king of Debir, 1. The king of Gedur, 1. The king of Hormah, 1. The king of Arad, 1. The king of Libnah, 1. The king of Adullam, 1. the king of Makkedah, 1. The king of Bethel, 1. The king of Tapua, 1. The king of Hepher, 1. The king of Aphek, 1. The king of Lasharon, 1. The king of Medan, 1. The king of Hazor, 1. The king of Shimron, Miran, 1. The king of Aksaph, 1. The king of Taanach, 1. The king of Megiddo, 1. Okay, before going to verse 21, where's the great battle going to be fought at the end of the tribulation? Megiddo, isn't it? Armageddon. Okay, that's right there. The king of Taanach, 1. The king of Megiddo, 1. Okay, verse 22. The king of Kadesh, 1. The king of Jokneam of Carmel, 1. The king of Dor and the coast of Dor, 1. The king of the nations of Gilgal, 1. The king of Tirzah, 1. All the kings, 30-1. All 24 verses of Joshua chapter 12, ladies and gentlemen. I believe chapter-wise we're halfway through Joshua. Let's be sure here. Yep. So you can, get meanings out of these names and locations and stuff that makes sense and really are an inspiration to learning this. Yeah. That being said, folks, these are good things to be looking at, I think. And that, that being said, really, I think it's good that we stay in our Bibles, and those of you who aren't, get in them. All right. As you know, there's been a lot of subjects I've been covering. And as far as in my personal research, I'm slowly and in great detail going over Europa, the final battle, because I have to verify and things, and things that aren't verifiable, I have to knock them out. And that's going to be a while. But there's other subjects I've been over, and I was reminded of it. There's a guy named Chad Wright. His YouTube channel, he's way viral. I think he has over 609,000 subscribers. He's a former Navy SEAL. He did 12 years in the Navy from what he said. I'm guessing it has to be true, because if it wasn't, Don Shipley would have been on him a long time ago. So, and it's never happened to my knowledge. And I do like a lot of his stuff, his truck talks. And he talks about an incident about what happened to him the other day with a flock camera. So I'm going to play the video in full. Yeah, it's 7 minutes and 39 seconds. Anyway, that being said, he's a Christian man. He reads his Bible. He does regular Bible studies. He and like his family members, keep chilling in the dungeon and no, love you all. No said. Keep, he cracks me up, but he seems like a pretty decent dude. So that being said, he has a lot of good information. I believe he's a Sunday keeper. Oh, well, that doesn't mean you're not in salvation. I think he's a very biblically oriented moral man from what I can ascertain. I've never gotten anything bad, in the sense of red flags from him. I guess he just doesn't know. I'm sure he knows the Sabbath keepers, but I mean, it's not really his thing yet. It will be one day for all of us. Don't get me wrong, but I give this man credit. He covers a lot of subjects. Okay. But let me get this video on. And I don't know if I'll have to take my dogs out while this is going on or not. I'm hoping not. All right, here we are. So kick back, eat your pork. See, my mouth and my tongue, my teeth missing, and now I have a little bit of soreness in my mouth on both. Well, mainly on my left side where it feels sore. It's not as bad as it was. We're doing personal or home, not personal, but home remedies. And now on my other side, I feel it's been a little puffed up, even though it's not quite as bad as it was. But so please forgive me if my tongue goes awry when I'm talking, but you won't have to listen to me for almost 8 minutes here. Enjoy.
All right. And now I know that there's technology out there to track cell phones and all this stuff, used it in the military, saw it in the military. I know all that technology exists, and that's probably being done. But now this is the next level. They can.
Sorry about that.
Howdy, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Truck Talk. I was taking a trip the other day down to Florida to do a little hog hunting. And on the way down to Florida, we stopped in a gas station, pulled over, filled the van up with gas, got back on the road, and immediately got pulled over by a police officer. Lights flashing came up. Of course, it was for an expired tag because I refused to pay them their fee for the little sticker to put on my tag. Sorry, guys. Anyways, we were like, dang, dude, where'd you come from? We didn't see the cop before he pulled us over. He wasn't sitting there anywhere. It's not like we drove by him. We were like, where'd you come from? He was like, oh, you drove past that flock camera over there on the corner, and it showed me that your tag was expired, and I got the message. And so I sat there and watched you while you guys pumped your gas. And once you got back on the road, I pulled you over. It was very odd. Okay. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember when these flock cameras first started popping up? By the way, here in Georgia, I think we have more flock cameras in Georgia than any other state in the United States. But I remember when I first started seeing them, and they look so benign, right? It's just this black pole with a little solar panel and camera about the size of this cell phone I'm talking to right now. They look so benign, so harmless. And I remember thinking, what the crap? What are they doing? Like some study about how much traffic comes up and down this road or something? Like, what's going on? And then eventually I learned, no, actually, these things are everywhere. And they do look benign. They're designed in a way to where we drive by probably hundreds of them every single day. And you don't even really notice them until you start looking for them. All right. I remember seeing videos come out of China back during the COVID years. And I remember seeing videos of how they were conducting around the clock surveillance and monitoring on their population in China. Making sure that people didn't go out of their houses and all this stuff, and keeping everybody locked down. And I thought, man, that is freaking wild, dude. That is wild. And now here we are here in the United States of America. And I don't know if you realize this or not, or if you've thought about this, but we are here in the United States of America now indeed living in a surveillance state. In other words, when you leave your house, the government is checking on you. All right. And now I know that there's technology out there to track cell phones and all this stuff, used it in the military, saw it in the military. I know all that technology exists, and that's probably being done. But now this is the next level. They're checking on you. When you leave your house, they know where you're going, and they're making sure you're doing what they want you to do. They're making sure that you're up to date on all their laws, rules, and regulations and mandates. And all this has happened, interestingly enough, or at least it has been in more increasingly prevalent, the surveillance state that we're living in here in America. under the Trump administration to make America great again while we're and look, man, this is the point I'm trying to make about Donald Trump and his administration is weren't we wasn't things supposed to be like getting better, like more freedom, more American, more all this stuff? I thought that was what he was all about. But anyways, it's marching on, which should tell you it doesn't matter what politician is in office. This is the direction that the world is going. This is the direction that the United States is going. Imagine next time we have lockdowns because of some scamdemic, and now there's a flock camera on literally every corner, and you're getting checked on everywhere you go. Imagine that. All right. That's what they're setting up for, without a doubt. I want you to understand that these are the things, the flock camera, for instance, these are the things that they want you to be distracted from. These are the things that matter. If I could say the single biggest thing right now that's concerning to me, it's probably flock cameras and the surveillance state as a whole. These are the things that they don't want you to notice. And these things are the reason why they want you to talk about the Epstein files, or they want you to see the circus with Anthony Fauci in the Senate, or they want you to think about the next terrorist attack, or they want you to, these are the things they want to distract you from. They want you to be thinking about all this other bull crap that there is no answer to, so that they can put devices all around you that you have no control over. It's going to monitor your every move so that they could just come get you when you step out of line. I want you to understand that. Next time you see some bull crap in the news, I want you to understand these are the things they don't want you to notice. These little solar panels on a black pole with a camera the size of a cell phone that immediately notifies them of your whereabouts every time you leave the house. We're fools, man. Nonetheless, got this in the store. Check this out, son. All that being said, can these bones live? Is there any hope for humanity? For the United States of America? Only you know, Lord. Love you guys. If you got anything out of this episode, you want to support us at 307 Project, you can get you a hat. Go pick up one of these new t-shirts if you like it. I'll drop a link in the description. Enough said.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, let me look at the chat. I do recommend, I'll put his link out. I always do that stuff to that particular video, for that matter. I think you should watch it on his. Give him a thumbs up. Talk about this a little bit. Well, the president, and I knew this before I ever started watching that thing that Wilford Whiskey's told me to look at, is Woodrow Wilson. And he had a lot of issues. He was a racist and that, but he also had some good things about him. One, he had screwed up, and he admitted it to I think it was him. I put my nation in slavery, signing over to the banks and stuff. There was a certain law. The heck law? I think that was Woodrow Wilson. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong. He whatever president, get out of here. Whatever president it was. Oh, come on. Okay, see, they're denying it. They're denying it. The 13th Amendment or whatever. Okay. I'll have to look more into that. I'll have to try and see if I can verify that or not. But well, I don't know if he's late to the party. I think he always knew about it. I don't want to really defend him or not, for that matter, with Chad there. I think a lot of people know about it. They hear about it. I've known about regular cameras. Now, I think Nicole, if she's still here, I might as well tell her, because even though she's a long time subber from of my channel, I think she was not watching at the time when I admitted to you guys. Like back in my prime days, over 20 years ago, when I was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and this is just normal cameras. They're good, though. I mean, they have this camera, and I'm sure it's still there. Maybe it's even improved to a flock. I don't know. But the one that they used, it was because you're not supposed to take a right on a red light from the beside the YMCA there in Sioux Falls. And I told you people how I would purposely, it'd be 1 or 2 in the morning. And so there really wasn't any traffic. And I'd purposely wait until it was red. And I'd ride my bicycle through it and put my nice little greeting of a middle finger up there and make sure they could see my ugly mug. I do it with a big smile on my face a lot of times, Yeah. I don't know. Probably wasn't the right thing to do, but they never did ticket me. Never sent me a ticket in the mail. Nothing. Never come to knock on my door. Wherever I was living in at that time, I had a lot of different residencies in Sioux Falls. But that being said, now, I mean, I'll still do it to this day. We use Walmart as little as possible. We do go there to exchange. If I need to buy a journal, we do our best not to. We don't really buy food there anymore, but I'll buy a journal there, or we'll buy something small, like a little bag of potato chips maybe, and get all this cash back that you can do. That's what you do with a debit card. At least you can right now. And when I'm walking past, if we're looking at things, Walmart has all these little teeny cameras that other channels have talked about. I've shown them to you on other live streams of other people's clips of their videos. And I'm always giving them a greeting. Same finger, same left arm. And they haven't visited me yet. And Deb gets a little nervous when I do that stuff. I just think a lot of people are so drummed down. They're so used to it. They're so beaten down, folks. To expound on what Chad Wright was saying, not all of us, but on the average, the American people are so beaten down. Maybe not MK Ultra in the, I suppose that could be argued one way or the other, but just used to it, accepting of it, kind of like tapping out to it. And I told you people, I think on one of my many live streams, that I'm not going to let them bring in that thing in the box, for our electrical box. Well, lo and behold, Deb had to inform me that they did. It was in here before we even moved here, and I'm still trying to decide how I should deal with that. Well, but then again, I put myself out here, folks. How you doing, gangster? Welcome. But the way they're surveilling us in that, like I said, in front of cameras, I'll just I'll flip them in the middle. I do it pretty much every time we go out there. I mean, we only go out there a couple times a month. And, but that's, more than enough, or they should know who I am. Now, do I want my privacy? Do I value it? Oh, yeah. I almost covet it. I mean, when I shut this down, or at least get off the live stream, or, and I'm not on someone else's live stream, I'm not trying to look to see what's going on in those police officers or deputy sheriffs in our case, and highway troopers are who would come and see us, I suppose. But point is, I'm not looking to see inside the law enforcement's bedrooms. Right, Wilfred, you are so right. You're funny. Wilfred's cracking funnies here in the side chat, I see. But anyway, babysitting us like we're their little children. I just don't think I need that kind of monitoring. At least they could do is offer us a treat for behaving. But but folks, you can take certain measures to try and keep your privacy to an extent, and I would. If I think it's a private enough of a subject to where I don't want to take the chance of anyone hearing, yeah, all devices will be shut down and covered up. Deb and I might go take a walk. Deb and I might stay in the house. We might just write letters back and forth. And then I rip them to shreds and flush them or burn them in a bonfire, Right. Yeah, I brought that up how many videos ago, too. And they shouldn't have any problem dealing with an Amber Alert. But I have this odd feeling that they don't really care too much about that. But yeah, you would think they wouldn't. The abductor, the suspect, should be caught within minutes. And if he or she actually got a head start on that child, maybe just a few hours at most. But people can hack into those things too, and they do, I guess. I guess some people are doing jail and prison time because of it. I'd have to look that stuff up. Some people are waiting to court dates for sure. I don't know if there's some 30-year-old fat guy sitting in his, living in his mother's basement doing a good job of hacking things or not. But I'm not a hacker. I have no clue how to do that stuff. There's precautions you can take. Like I said, if Deb's feeling up to it and we have something really private we want to discuss, we can pray about it for starters, that the Lord gives us the privacy we need. Secondly, we're led to go out and take a walk when we don't bring any devices with us. And we go the opposite direction of that AI electric board or whatever that dumb thing's called. I know what I want to do with that thing. But I guess I'd probably be doing some fairly serious time if I do. So pray for me on that one. I really didn't know we had that thing when I talked about it weeks ago. I had no clue on that. I guess it was here evidently from the last couple that lived here before we did. I don't know for sure when it was put in, and then this place was vacant for over 5 years, I think. AI has been going on for a little while now. But to sit there and monitor us like that, this is becoming a combination of things of totalitarianism and Marxism and communism, and I guess you can include socialism. So anyway, definitely 3 of 7 Project. Subscribe to his channel. Smash the notification bell. He has a lot of good stuff. So Well, Deb, I'm just trying to picture too. If I had access, Bill Gates actually made that comment, kind of like a joke, when he was helping for his fake food with this woman, and she brought it up to him about wanting all this information on people. He's like, I'm not really sure what I'd really do with all that information. Ha 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 ha! The crowd, and actually, that'd be a serious thing for me. What would I do with the information on Craig Hayden and his wife? I'm not a voyeurist. I don't give a shit. I don't want that going on. Or on Tex Haas or Nicole. I mean, Wilfred. I mean, evidently, old Path is laying down. What? I don't know what the interest would be, and now I do believe that Bill Gates does not have time to sit and listen and to billions of people's bullshit and read it all. He can't do that. Does he have access to it? Potentially, probably. But that's called having a team to do all that stuff for you, I would think. Yeah, but I still don't want a flat camera. I don't want any kind of techno devices on you, so I can listen to everything and watch everything you're doing, Tex. No offense, but I have other priorities. I have other things to do. I'm a busy man, and I would hope you would have, kind of think the same way about Deb and I. I mean, just on a practical level. So it's going to be for the Noah. Oh, I know. Yeah, no hide laws, no doubt. Here's the thing that I've learned over firsthand experience over the years of my experience and now my now wisdom. And yes, I am putting the information out there. However, I could dot things right in a row in order methodically. A, B, C, D. This is what's going on. Even this is though what you're doing for the system of the beast. Call it what system. Just call it what you will. And if it's not going to matter. They're not going to reward you in the end. Once you're done being their useful idiot, they'll probably put you up against a wall. And and then what use would they have for you? For me, let's be real here. And you still won't be able to make these people see it, so they can know. You can prove it to them, and they'll still deny it. And by the time they figure it out, folks, too late. Too late. So yeah, I know. I'm not taking you the wrong way. I know what you're saying, Hoss. I know exactly what you're saying. I really don't have a lot more today. I'm surprised I was able to get on tonight. This thing keeps screwing up here. And I don't worry about it. It's just it's aggravating. It's aggravating. It's not to me. And I sometimes I look at. That's why even when I had to deal with law enforcement down in Florida, just like this guy did, Chad Wright did. They didn't really do that good of a job keeping track, though, when I think about it. They didn't. They made a lot of blunders. But when they want to know everything and have you talk to them, they could see I was hardcore old school, so they didn't get anything out of me. We just waited until I waited, waited for a deal and did the best that I could on my part with an incompetent attorney. I did most of the work. I shouldn't say that. I mean, Deb did a lot of giving the information to the attorney that he should have been doing. But as far as figuring it out and doing the talk, in fact, in court, I did 99.9% of the talking. Yeah, I know all about that. But yeah, people should read that. If you're going to get out of that smart meter, you'll be paying more money. And that's not even legal what they're doing. They're not supposed to be charging you. They're not supposed to be coming on your property without your permission and putting it in. So, but that's what they're doing. Anyway, if anybody has anything else, I'm probably going to head out. I did bring the dogs. I took them out while the video was going. It's just that there's a lot of things going on, and they are keeping track. I don't look when people say they can hear and see everything all of the time. I don't believe that. The only one who's omnipresent is the Father himself. Well, hold on. Let me check. Yeah, I'll go on the regular YouTube and check it. Hold on. Let's see what my wife put up. No. Are you serious, Deb? You put up my live stream. That's all you did. You didn't send me the video. Well, you probably sent it on my phone, but you did another, this one. Oh, this one. Okay, let me look. Hold on, folks. All redacted. Okay, here, I'll recommend. And I'll put in the link, of course. I'm not going to play an over 40-minute video right now. And that, yeah, I meant to say Shabbat Shalom to people. Thanks for reminding me. This is a thing on redacted. The title is Holy SH Star T! Exclamation mark. Agenda 2030 is happening right now, and it's all about control. Redacted with Clayton Morris. I'll go ahead and show it to you, and I will put the link as well as 3 to 7 project. But it's 40 minutes and 13 seconds, folks. All right. And I'll be watching it myself. Obviously, Deb has watched it. I have not. So, that being said, I don't really have much more to say. But anyway, I appreciate all of you coming here. Folks, keep your heads on your swivels. Stay on your guard. Stay safe. Peace. Shalom. Hope you had a great Shabbat, everyone. Peace. The Levite man is out of here. Till next time.